In October of 2020, it was announced that Austin Cindric would be stepping into the 21 car after the 2021 season, so for 2022 and beyond. But things massively changed when a couple of months ago, reports started coming out about Brad Keselowski leaving Team Penske, and today a lot was confirmed. It was confirmed that Brad Keselowski is out of the 2 car, and it was confirmed that Austin Cindric would be promoted to the 2 car. Once Brad Keselowski was reported to be leaving Team Penske for Roush Fenway Racing, everyone looked at Austin Cindric, and that is what we expected, so that is no surprise. Here's where the surprise kicks in for this video, for this news day. The 21 car will not be driven by Matt DiBenedetto. It will be driven by Harrison Burton. That is right, Harrison Burton, who is currently driving the number 20 in the Xfinity Series for Joe Gibbs Racing. He will be moving up to the Cup Series full-time to drive the Wood Brothers number 21, who is a team affiliate of Team Penske. So a major news story there. We obviously both are very big news stories, but I would say that the Cindric one is less surprising for sure. We all speculated that Cindric was going to take over the 2. We all speculated that, because he's done so good in the Xfinity Series. He won a championship last year. He has multiple wins this year in the Xfinity Series. He's even run a few Cup races this year, and he's done pretty good at some of the road courses. He led laps at Road America, led laps at COTA. So he's been good everywhere he's been so far, and so it was just a matter of time before he got to Cup. And then we knew last fall that he would be going into Cup after the announcement about him going to the 21 car. And then when all these rumors about Keselowski started, we were like, okay, he's going to the 2 most likely. That is now confirmed. We're going to look at some statements from Roger Penske, Team Penske, and Austin Cindric. And then we're also going to go to the Wood Brothers, look at that. And then we will talk about Matt DiBenedetto. What is he going to do now? Another year, as a Matt DiBenedetto fan, it's frustrating. But let's look at some of these statements and look at some of the details behind Austin Cindric going to the 2 car. Austin is a champion and has proven his abilities both on and off the track, said Roger Penske. The Cup Series is a big step for any rookie, but making this move now in conjunction with the introduction of the next-gen car makes sense. He has gained valuable experience this year, competing in a handful of races at the Cup level, and he has shown that he belongs out there. So, obviously, when Austin Cindric was given that part-time schedule, we didn't know how he was going to do. We didn't know how good this 4th Penske car was, but he's done pretty well no matter where they've gone. He hasn't been competing for a win every time, but for, his first 5 Cup Series starts, I think he's done pretty good. Crashed in the Daytona 500 because that last lap was chaos. Kansas, I can't remember how he did at Kansas. COTA, he led laps and then spun late, so he ended up like 25th. He had a mechanical issue at Road America after leading some laps there. So he's been driving pretty good, but, some issues have prevented him from getting good finishes. But he has done well, and it did seem like Penske was trying to prepare him for another step up to the 2, not necessarily the 2 car, but the Team Penske Cup car, whatever it may be. And obviously Brad Keselowski leaving Team Penske meant that there was going to be an opening, and Austin Cindric, he was the best option. He was within the Team Penske program. He already knows everyone there. He knows the cars there. He knows the team. So it seemed like an easy transition for Team Penske and Austin Cindric just to stay within the organization. Obviously, they could have looked outside of Team Penske. They could have maybe called Kurt Busch, another veteran, another champion of the sport. They could have called another young driver potentially, but I think Austin Cindric is indeed the right move for Team Penske. Let's see what Cindric had to say. Throughout my NASCAR career, I've grown a lot as a driver and an individual. There are so many individuals within the walls of Team Penske that have elevated me to a level that matches this opportunity. The support towards my development from Roger, Team Penske, and all of our partners has been the leading factor towards race wins and championship. The iconic number 2 car. The number 2 car is iconic to the sport and is a number that represents the foundation of this team. It is a great honor and a great responsibility to continue that role as 2022 gets closer. I'm excited to embrace that. Until then, my focus remains on winning another Xfinity championship. Also, they announced, or they said in their kind of press release, their little article that Team Penske released, they said that the Discount Tire will remain a key sponsor within the organization and that it will sponsor both the 2 of Cindric and the 12 of Ryan Blaney. As for that, the remainder of his sponsors are unknown and will be announced at a later date. I'm sure some of those sponsors that they have, Dent Wizard. I'm trying to think of the other sponsors. They have a lot of small sponsors that they use, like they get a 1 or 2 off races, and they get all these different standard Team Penske paint schemes. But yeah, we'll learn that in the future. But Discount Tire, we've seen that on the 2 car for a couple of years. It's been in the Xfinity Series for Penske before that for probably a decade. But yeah, that's once again not a big surprise that Austin Cindric is going to the 2 car. I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked at all. When I heard Keselowski was leaving Team Penske, I was like, yeah, I guess Austin Cindric's their best option, or that's going to be their priority. And, well, now we have confirmation. Let's get to the news story we did not expect to see. It was rumored earlier this week, but there's about 10,000 rumors out there. I don't trust any of them till they're being reported by a reliable source because, just because Jimmy Joe 862 on Twitter.com says that, Kevin Harvick is buying, NASCAR and he's turning it into golf. That doesn't mean it's true. There's just a lot of big rumors, a lot of stuff out there that I'm not going to talk about it till it's like legitimately reported. Okay. So just know that for the future, but it was rumored earlier this week, but now it's a real thing. So those people were right, but let's look at this Harrison Burton to the Wood Brothers news thing. Let's look at some quotes, and then we will talk about it. So, let's see here. Here's what Harrison Burton said. Since I began racing quarter midgets, the hope and goal was always to become a full-time driver in the NASCAR Cup Series. Now I get to do this with one of the most storied teams in NASCAR histories in the Wood Brothers and with an association with Ford Motor Company and Ford Performance. I don't think I could have dreamt of a better situation to put myself in when it comes to the start of my NASCAR Cup Series career. Add to that the technical alliance with Team Penske and the knowledge I'll gain from working with their drivers, and I'm really excited for 2022 in the future. This is a great opportunity for me, and I can't thank Eddie and Lynn Wood enough for giving me this chance. Now, this was definitely shocking, but the Burton thing is, Burton has 4 wins in the Xfinity Series. All were last year at different tracks, Martinsville, Texas. I can't remember where the other 2 were. But anyways, the point being, Burton is a young and talented driver. He is good. He has shown that when he is given good equipment, he can do things with it. He can win. He can compete. So he has yet to win this year in the Xfinity Series, but he's still running pretty good. But, he is young and he was in a Toyota. And the fact of the matter is, in the Cup Series, the Toyotas, there's not a lot of them. There's 4 Joe Gibbs cars and 123, maybe 2 2311 cars in the future. Those are the competitive Toyotas. That's 6 seats at most. 6. Right now, 5 of your guys are locked in. Kyle Busch isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. Bubba Wallace isn't going anywhere anytime soon. So really, there's 1 seat available, and it's been rumored to go to Kurt Busch, or it's been talked to Kurt Busch about. It could be another young driver in the Toyota program, but the point being, Harrison Burton, he wasn't guaranteed a spot in a Toyota in the future. Even if Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, and Martin Truex Jr. all retire in the next 5 years, that means even if it happens in 5 years, Harrison Burton's still have to stay in the Xfinity Series a little bit longer. But he was given an opportunity. He said, look, do you want the 21 car? And he said, yes, I want the 21 car, which means he is leaving that Toyota program. And that is something, while Toyota is really good in the Cup Series, while they still get tons of wins in championships, that is still something that hurts them, is that their young drivers are not always guaranteed a spot with the Toyota, and sometimes they are guaranteed a spot, and then they get booted after 2 years because, someone better shows up. But the point being, that is something that I think hurts Toyota a bit, but once again, they still have plenty of other talent down in the Xfinity, in Truck Series and all that stuff. You got John Hunter Nemechek tearing it up in the Truck Series right now. And then you've also got Ty Gibbs, a young up-and-coming star who has been great in his 8 Xfinity starts. So while it is a loss that they are losing Harrison Burton, it is not the end of the world for them. But I do think that is something that hurts them. Toyota, that is that they do not have enough seats for their young drivers to fill in when all their guys are currently locked in right now. But this is a big deal for Harrison Burton to drive the 21 car. He has one Cup Series start at Talladega this year for the Gaunt brothers. But other than that, he has not done anything in Cup. But as I said earlier, he has won in Xfinity. He's done well in Xfinity. But unlike Austin Cindric, Austin Cindric, as I said earlier, he has tons of wins in the Xfinity Series. He has an Xfinity championship. So seeing him go to a top-tier Cup car is not surprising. Burton, he's still young and he's still early in his Xfinity career, so it was a little bit more surprising to see him make a jump to it's a pretty good Cup car. The 21 car, obviously not one of the top teams in NASCAR, but it is still a really good car that has competed for the win. Made the playoffs last year with Matt DiBenedetto, won a few years ago at Pocono with Ryan Blaney. So this is a car that can, in fact, compete for wins, make the playoffs. So it is a good, solid car that Harrison Burton is getting into. As for the move by the Wood brothers, I like Harrison Burton. I think he's good. I think he is young, though, so I'm going to wait to see what happens, but I think there is more upside than there is potential downside, so I think this could end up being a good move for them, and it could be a good move in terms of a Ford move because, you look at their driver lineup. Kevin Harvick's getting old over at Stewart-Haas Racing. Eric Almirola, his contract, I think, is up at the end of this year or next year. Chase Briscoe, Cole Custer are locked in there, but there are a few quality Ford top rides that are open. So if Harrison Burton develops, he does well in this 21 car, he could maybe go to one of those. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on that. But let's see what the Wood brothers had to say. As a team owner, you always want to keep an eye on the future and what's best for your organization in hopes to set yourself up for success long term. As things have progressed and changed over the last few months, we had the chance to look at what our options are, and when we determined that Harrison would be available for our team, we wanted to jump at the opportunity to work with him. Harrison is young but comes from a family of successful race car drivers. The advice and support they can offer to Harrison as he makes this transition will be very important to his success. What a lot of us forget is that he is not even 21 years old yet and has only been racing in both the Truck and Xfinity Series for a couple of years. So when we looked at the future and finding someone to build our program around, Harrison seemed like a great option. That's what Eddie Wood said. We are quite excited to begin working with Harrison, and 2022 is the perfect timing, said co-owner Lynn Wood. With the introduction of the next-gen car next year, we have the ability to grow with him and build our program around what he wants. We don't want to say it puts him on a level playing field because there are a lot of great drivers in the Cup Series, but having a rookie come in at the same time as a new car is introduced will help build us a solid foundation and hopefully get us off to a strong start. And then sponsorships, partners, once again, just like the Penske thing, will be announced at a later date. As for that, the sponsor thing, Dex Imaging sponsored Burton in the Xfinity Series. They sponsored him for his one Cup start. I wouldn't be surprised if they went to him. They're sponsoring Blaney in the Cup Series right now. They could probably do both, but the interesting thing I found about this is that they did say that Motorcraft, Quick Lane, whatever their thing is, was coming back in 2022, so that was guaranteed, but they did not say anything about Menards. So I don't know if Menards is going to leave Team Penske and the Wood brothers as a whole. They're only going to stay with Team Penske. I do not know, but I did find that interesting that they didn't say anything about Menards. So, yeah, the sponsorship thing, that raises some questions. Obviously Menards went over there when Paul Menard was at the 21 car, but the point being, Harrison Burton is in at Wood Brothers Racing, but we have to talk about Matt DiBenedetto out of his ride in 2022. He did have an option that Team Penske could have picked up to keep him in the 21 car for 2022, but they declined that option, obviously. And Matt DiBenedetto is now a free agent from what I know. unless they can pick him up for the Xfinity Series. And here's where I'm going to give my thoughts for Matt DiBenedetto. I love Matt DiBenedetto. He's one of my favorite Cup drivers. He's a lovable guy. I mean, he's a great person from what I can tell. So, and he's a pretty underrated race car driver, I think. You know, he took the 21 car to the playoffs last year for the first time since 2017 with Ryan Blaney. And Ryan Blaney is proving that he's a young star of the sport. So to do something that Ryan Blaney was able to do is impressive. No, he has not won in the 21 car yet, but he has come very dang close. He almost won the Talladega Spring Race this year. He almost won Talladega last year. He almost won Las Vegas last year. He almost won the Bristol Night Race with Levine Family Racing. So Matt DiBenedetto has come so close so many times to winning a Cup race, but outside of the winning part, he has done pretty well. This year has not been as good as he would want, obviously. They are currently over 100 points outside of the playoffs, putting them basically in a must-win situation. They've come close to a win at Talladega, as I said earlier, but they've had some unfortunate circumstances, some crashes, some mechanical issues, some just issues, bad setups, all that. So they made a change at the crew chief, and they've done pretty well since that change. They have a couple of top 10s, consecutive top 10s, but the fact is that he is now out of a ride. If you asked me this maybe a month ago, I would have said he could look at the one car, he could look at maybe a second 2311 car, maybe a second Trackhouse car, but then a lot of things changed. Trackhouse bought Chip Ganassi Racing, basically eliminating that because I think Chastain or Kurt Busch will go to that second car, so DiBenedetto is out in my opinion there. And then obviously the 2311 is being rumored to go to Kurt Busch. I think that is a high possibility as well, so I'm not sure about that. I think that is a possibility. DiBenedetto, Hamlin. Hamlin seems to like DiBenedetto. DiBenedetto respects Hamlin, obviously, so maybe they could work something out there, but I think that if there are no quality Cup rides, I do not think Matt DiBenedetto should go to a front row motorsports car. I don't think he should go to, you know, a car that's not going to compete every week, a car that's maybe will get a couple top 10s every year. I think if he's going to go to a car, he needs to go to a car that is going to compete, that is going to consistently get top 10s, consistently run up front and compete for a win every once in a while. I think taking a step backwards in the Cup Series is a bad decision for him personally. So I think that if there are no good quality Cup Series rides, I think he should do the John Hunter Nemechek route. I don't think he should go to the Truck Series, but I do think he should do what John Hunter Nemechek did this year, and that's take a step back. John Hunter Nemechek last season, after driving the 38 car, decided, you know what, I'm not doing great in the Cup Series, or I'm in a not so great Cup Series ride. I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to go back to the Truck Series in a top tier ride in the Truck Series. And I'm going to see how I can do, and it's worked out for him. John Hunter Nemechek has won a ton of races this year. He's led a ton of laps. He's won a bunch of stages. He's won everything this year. So that has worked out for him. I think DiBenedetto needs to look to do the same thing, and I actually think he should stay within the Team Penske realm. I think that he should go ask Roger Penske, ask Team Penske, whoever it may be, hey, look, Cup Series, I think I'm good enough for that, but I think I need to prove myself some more, get some more eyes on me, get some more sponsors. Winning helps. So I think that he should look at the number 22 Xfinity Series ride, because that ride is a championship-winning ride. That is a race-winning, competing for race wins every single week. So I think that should definitely be on his radar. Obviously, I don't think that's what he wants. I think he wants to be in the Cup Series as long as possible, but I think Matt DiBenedetto does need to genuinely consider going to the Xfinity Series, looking for a top-tier ride, and potentially driving for one of those top-tier rides to, you know, go compete for an Xfinity Series championship, go compete for Xfinity Series wins, because he doesn't have as much funding as some of these other drivers. He doesn't have a ton of sponsors, but winning helps. Winning gets you attention. Winning gets you in the news headlines. So I think that DiBenedetto, if he goes to the 22 in the Xfinity Series, he will win races. He will compete for an Xfinity Series championship. So I think that does need to be an option for him. As for the other Xfinity ride that's open, that's going to Ty Gibbs. I mean, I'd be shocked if it wasn't going to Ty Gibbs. If you don't give Ty Gibbs a full ride Xfinity Series next year, you're stupid. I mean, the dude is running part-time this year. He won his first career start. He's got 2 wins and like 7 top 3s in his first 8 starts or something. I mean, they'd be dumb to not give him the ride, right? Am I going crazy? Like, I'm not going crazy, am I? Anyways, but yes, to wrap this, wow, it's 20 minutes. To wrap this 20-minute video up into like 30 seconds, maybe. Austin Cindric to the 2. That was predictable. We all saw that coming. Okay, cool. Harrison Burton to the 21. That was a nice surprise. Yeah, I think there's a lot of upside to it. There's a lot of potential. Harrison Burton seems like a quality driver, but he is still young, so there's going to be some growing pains. It's going to take some time to develop. But with the next-gen car, they have to learn a new car and a new driver at the same time. Maybe it could work out. So, yeah, but there is more upside on that, I would say. As for Matt DiBenedetto, heartbreaking once again. Ugh, it hurts. But if you look at the last 2 times Matt DiBenedetto has lost his ride, 2019 August, he almost won the Bristol Night Race the next race. 2020 October, he almost won the Talladega race. So New Hampshire, Matt DiBenedetto win. Potentially, that would be nice, but heartbroken for him once again, but hopefully he can land a quality ride in the Cup Series, and if not, I really do think he should consider a top-tier ride in the Xfinity Series. But thank you for watching this video. It was a long one, but there was a lot to talk about. Man, these rumors are getting crazy. I don't believe them all because, frankly, sometimes they're wrong, and then people get all built up over it, and they're like, oh, it's going to happen, and then they don't happen, then they look stupid, and I'm not going to talk about these rumors until, like, they're reported on. Like, till, like, legit motorsports reporters are reporting on it. Because I'm tired of seeing that Kevin Harvick's going to buy JTG Doherty Racing and go to the booth at the same time. And also, like, own, like, 20 racetracks. And, like, people are saying, oh, it's guaranteed. Someone on Reddit said it. Like, it's just getting annoying. So, yeah, you can talk about these rumors. I think you're allowed to. It's the United States of America. Talk about as many rumors as you want. Make up rumors if you want. Okay, don't make up a rumor. If you're going to make up a rumor, make sure it's extra stupid so that no one believes it. The point being, you can say anything you want, and there's going to be at least a few idiots who believe you. Like, I could tell you right now that Kevin Harvick's going to buy Formula 1 and that he's going to completely change Formula 1 into only figure-8 tracks where the minimum speed is 200 miles an hour. Someone would believe that probably. The point being, I am not going to talk about every single rumor that comes out because I do not believe all of them. Why would I talk about something that, like, I'm not sure is going to happen? So once it's being legitimately reported on, then I'll talk about it. So, yeah. Anyways, that was a complete side rant. Have a great rest of your day. Go NASCAR.